Welcome back to some more battles. We are in the open Great League, trying out a different team featuring the Shadow Drapion paired with the Diggersby and the Lickitung in the back. So double normals in the back. We are gonna fire off this Aqua Tail into the fighter. So definitely don't want to see this in the back, and we are just gonna try our best to out spam it. We go and get a shield. We're just gonna let this go. It ends up being the Rage Fist, and looks like we're gonna take the shield advantage. We will shield here. They did build up to a potential close combat, but they only reveal Ice Punch, so still not a bad shield, as now we're gonna have Diggersby into the Corviknight. We have the advantage because of the Fire Punch, super effective move, but they do have a lot of bulk. Now we're gonna see if we're gonna be able to either get this Corviknight out of here, or will they get to another move? They go for the Air Cutter. It only does minimal damage. This is going to get the KO or get the shield. Okay, so they don't want to see the Diggersby in the back. We're going to catch a move and look for a decent farm down. It looks like they don't allow the farm down, but now they have to face this Lickitung with a lot of energy. Forcing some energy here. They do get the farm down, unfortunately. You can see right here, we're just going to let this go. We know we survived one, and we're going to be able to get to this Scorching Sands before they get to another move, and down goes the Corviknight with very, very little health. So GG start opponent, able to win that game with the Diggersby, honestly. Having a kind of a core breaking the Corviknight and Stunfisk in the back. Against the Abomasnow, we're just gonna stay in. They decide to swap out into the Azu. Now, we don't really have a great answer for the Azu, but we are gonna be able to have the bulk with our Lickitung here. We are running the Power Whip, and it looks like they are gonna fire off a move here. We're gonna use another Power Whip to get the KO or get a shield. They decided to let it go. Let's see what they come back in here with. And they showcase the Abomasnow, so we're just gonna go straight into the Drapion, force a shield or big damage, and it looks like our opponent is gonna try to win the game with 2 shield Dedenne, but unfortunately for them, we have one of the best answers to Dedenne with the Diggersby. They're switch locked for quite a bit, so we don't have to worry about anything here. And yeah, they don't have any chance to win that because we're just going to apply a lot of pressure, get the shields down, and make sure we overfarm with good timing. So on to the next game. We have the Drapion versus the Azu. Classic matchup here. We are going to fire off this Crunch on good timing. It's not effective, but we're trying to fish for the debuff. It didn't happen, and now we're going to have to just tank one of the moves. We go for this Crunch again, and no debuff. Unlucky. We get to this Aqua Tail here, and they decided to just tank the move, and they go straight into the Marowak. We're gonna go with our Lickitung here, as we are gonna be able to deal a lot of fast move damage, as opposed to if we go into the Diggersby, we rely on the charge moves. And you can see right here, we get them really, really low. In fact, we're just going to get them so low that we're going to force them to switch or get into the backline. Looks like our opponent does bank a lot of energy. There is a Sky Attack, and this is not the best for us, to be honest, because we don't really have a good answer to this Altaria, but we did chip away, and now we're just going to invest shields. Oh, that was a great catch by our opponent. We threw on random timing there, and they were able to anticipate that. They go straight back into their Altaria. No debuff is going to be really bad for us, and now we're just going to swap out for some energy. Almost got to the body slam, but now we know they're relatively low on energy. We fire off this Fire Punch. It does grab that last shield, and unable to farm down. So the classic Azu Altaria matchup wins that particular game. Yeah, maybe if we had gotten some debuffs, it would have helped much better. Okay, similar situation like earlier. We're just going to stay in, fire off the Aqua Tails. They did build up to a potential big move. We're just going to call it, and we do call the bait. Now that allows us to get to another Aqua Tail, and down goes 2 shields early. We're just going to let this go. It ends up only being the Rage Fist, but we're so low that that's all it took. We are going to shield because potential close combat, but once again, it's only running Ice Punch. And now we're just going to fire off this Body Slam immediately. We know there's no close combat, so we just let this go. And now we try to win this game with 1 shield remaining, and we see the Talonflame. So Talonflame here is going to be interesting because they're going to be able to just chip and dip. They go for the fly and dip out of there. And now we see the regular Marowak. So this is going to be a little bit tougher to take out now, as they're going to be very bulky. We force some energy here. Bone Club is easily going to take us out, and we're going to try our best to get to a move, but unfortunately not going to happen. So GG's to our opponents, unable to beat that backline with the Talonflame, with the shield. We just had no pressure for that Talonflame. It was a okay lead. They swap out into the Altaria, and now we're just gonna chip and dip because this is probably one of the biggest threats to the team, as the Dragon Breath and the flying typing is very hard for us to deal with. But because they did swap out, we're gonna be able to take this Altaria relatively low. They decided to swap back out, keeping the low Altaria there, and now we have rearranged the entire alignment, and now we get the matchup we actually want. Diggersby into the Clogsire is the particular win condition, and they try to force us to throw energy, but we get that full farm down. They decide to come back in with the Clogsire, so now they're switch locked, and now we can just fire off the Scorching Sands and look for the farm down. No farm down there, so we're just going to tank this move. And ends up being another flyer. So they had an ABB format, and this Diggersby is absolutely giving us mega value. Here we're just going to let this go. Ends up being the Air Cutter, and they did proc the buff, so this could get interesting now. We do have a shield to use, and they get the double debuff, and we force out the Corviknight. They catch the move, and because they lost that double debuff, we are going to be able to apply a lot of pressure, and just like that, down goes the Corviknight. So GG's to our opponents. Check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.